Ah yes, planes. They are the majestic machines created by mankind. A machine that give us wings to fly. A machine that brings mankind into the further beyond. In Besiege, we want to create one of the best planes in the game. But mostly for new plane builders, they don't know where to start. Or how to make it very agile and very fast.
I'm fast. I'm so fast.
Or even make it look so beautiful as possible. So in this video, I'm giving you few tips of how to make ridiculous OP planes in Besiege. Some people would say, I thought this was a tutorial video. Well, it kinda bit a tutorial video for me because I'm also teaching you some few tricks and magic.
Feel the power of my magic!
Of how those guys make their planes. So what am I waiting for?
Let's go!
Okay guys, before we could go for the other stuff, we could start for the propeller trick. So what is this trick? Well, as you can see, when I start this simulation, this will happen for now. As you can see here, they just goes downwards. But once I flip this one to 23.016, we could make them straight like this. But they're much more different kind of propellers, what I'm gonna say, and you'll see why. Okay, as you can see here, the left one goes forward and the right one goes backwards, because from the left side, this one doesn't have the drag, and the right one has the drag on it, which makes your plane a bit slow. You can see here, but the truth is that it's the same thing from the left side, but it's backwards. To understand this even much more further, I have two gliders right here. As I start the simulation, this is what happens. As you can see here, this one just goes forward, and the right side just goes backwards. And why this thing's doing it? Well, here's why. Its non-drag was from the backwards, because if you do this kind of method, well, it won't go forward, or it would glide forward, and that's a little bit of problem sometimes of making one. So we could fix this by flipping these guys to its original form, and now you could have this much more better. I guess not. Doing this kind of method is the other way around to make your plane much more worthy of gliding or for flying, because this one's able you to glide and do some other stuff like this. They're much more better like that. So as you can see here, that we could just glide a little bit better now, since we flip those fins. Now it's just going a little bit backwards, as you can see here. A little bit better now. So let's go for another tip. Okay guys, let's go for the propulsion now. So first, I'm gonna teach you how to make the propellers. So first, we're gonna start with an unpowered wheel, and then copy this one up to 0.50 and raise that a bit. You should put a brace on the main unpowered wheel and connect it to the unpowered wheel that you just copy, and then delete this one and move this thing just a bit like this, I'm just gonna disable the. I'm just gonna enable the zero gravity so we can understand more. And then copy this braces, and it should be like 45 degrees. And you're gonna do this for about 7 times. You can see here, it moves slowly because right now the unpowered wheel has a weight on it. Now we're gonna copy another block right here near the unpowered wheel with so many braces right here. We're gonna add some more blocks right here by giving it a powered wheel. Delete this thing because this one is just a template. So now move backwards and connect it to the unpowered wheel. And for power, I recommend this one to go on toggle, and its speed should be around 10%. You could go further, but unfortunately, what I'm gonna say, for doing that, it might make your a propeller a bit unstable. So right here, I'm just gonna copy this again. And since we put another propellers right here, select that propeller, copy, and select this one, and then rotate. You could do different types of design of the propeller as much as you want, but for now I'm just gonna choose this one. So now will be the magic. There we go. If you want more speed, this is what you're gonna do. I learned this from my other friends when they're making planes. So this is what you're gonna do. Flip this thing a bit, and let's see the magic. As you can see here, it becomes much faster. Now this one is a little bit different because this one is mostly used if you're a jet fighter builder. First, you need just a single ballast, but this one's just no ordinary ballast because this one you need a mod with it. You could choose a lot of mods as much as you want, but for me, I was using a hard scale and easy scale. So right now, if I do this thing, I make it a little bit longer, and then you're gonna put some hinges on it from both sides, and make sure we should make them a bit small like this. It should be around 45, but it could go for even much more smaller if you want to. It depends on what kind of planes you're making. And for the controls, let's go for X and Z, and the rotation will be 90 degrees, and it should be its rotation speed is around just times 1. And now we're gonna put some flying blocks from them, and select any kind of power you want for your plane. Now we could go with this thing like times 15. If you have the no bounce mod, you could do this one. And then resize this thing even much more smaller because we're just using the, oh my god, this one is wrong side. Right. You need to place them right here because since our hinges is going about 90 degrees, so this one won't get stuck. And then copy this thing and there. And for the low speed one, you need just a single thing like this, and you could select it at like on the around like a minimum speed. It could go like 10, but yeah, I guess 10 is enough, or just 8, because this one is only used for jets that you could only do low speed. You could go like even much more further if you want. So right now, here we go. Here's our engines for jet fighters. As you can see, this thing, it just go extremely fast. So right now, if I press like this, it just go faster. Oh wait, I forgot to toggle. So right now, there we go. Without it, just normal speed. So that's for the propulsion now. So now let's go for another tip again. Okay, for making the beam or the backbone of your fuselage, you need 2 braces with this. For my tip, you could go longer as much as you want, but I'm just gonna choose like this, and move it just a bit to make it look clean. There you go. And you should place some any kind of block right here in the front, so we can have a little bit of reference. And same thing right here. Make this I forgot what it's called, a smooth surface block, and make it a bit thin like this, and move it downwards right here, and go for 0.50 and copy that, move it a bit, copy that, move it a bit, copy that, move it a bit, copy that, and move it a bit, and move all of them for about just a bit on the left, just a bit, that's too much. So there we go. And copy this thing and flip it on the right side and flip it to the backwards, and deselect the main balances and raise all of them right here. And you're gonna be curious of why I copy these things. What's the purpose of these things? Well, they're just some sort of template, of course. So here's why. First, you're gonna attach some braces on them, just like this, and like that, and there you go. And then delete all of these smooth surface blocks. Copy all of these braces and move it on the left side. And then now you're gonna bring them back to the ballast that you stretch out, and copy them again, and you should rotate them about 45 degrees, just like this. And now you're curious of Blitz. What's the purpose of these things? Well, they're the kind of braces that it should make the plane even way more 100% sturdy. And why I'm doing this kind of stuff? Well, yeah, you'll find out later. Just a little bit of just a bit. There you go. It looks beautiful. So now we're gonna place some cannons on any kind of size that you want. For now, we're gonna choose like 2 cannons right here with a power of times 12 or times 13, as much as you want. For now, I'm gonna go with times 15 because that's also has a power on it, and make it long. Make it thin as much as possible, or even more thinner that you cannot see it in a far distance. So right here, this one looks invisible. So I'll copy that and flip it right in the flip it right here, and I'll move it a bit, move it them much more closer. So now let's fire. As you can see, it broke. Why? Well, because these bus don't have weights. So right here, we're gonna copy this thing, and it should have a weight of 20, because since we're using times 15 cannon, you could go much higher, but that will make your plane heavier. So that's why we have this thing, so we could balance things out. So right here, I'm just gonna go with 10. I mean 10 right here. So right now we're gonna see this. There you go. There's a little bit of, there's no braking happening, just two bit. But there's another problem. How do we gonna make it a little bit less recoil? So right here we have the water cannons right here. With the help of the no bounce mod, we could move it like for -400 and put in a respective value of the kit of letter C, just like same from the cannons, and make it small as possible, and copy this and just like that, and move it right next to them. So right now when I press this, there we go, there's a less recoil happening. And for the autocannons, we could do this like this. We need to change the time scale of 0, bolder than 0, and change the start key to C, which is how we do for the autocannons. And it should be hold to run and loop, or allow to stop and loop. For me, I'm just gonna choose to hold and run. So this is what happens when you do hold and run. Oops. You see here, there's a little bit of a problem, but since this cannon was so powerful, it still kicks this thing even much more further, or even breaking our guns. You could adjust this thing by modifying the water cannons even more, like making it like a 500, negative 500. So therefore, that this thing won't get kicked by its recoil. But you could fix this by adjusting it. So there you go, beam and the autocannons, and that's it. Okay, let's go for another tip. Now let's go for fuselage building. But first, I'm gonna show you about the old ways of building fuselages in Besiege. For example, I want my plane to look like one of those from the Russian fish bed. So this is what we're gonna choose. We're gonna use the wooden panel right here. First, we need to flip it right here and find some colors so we can know what it look like when we put some colors, and choose a rightful size, and let the imaginations to come true. So first, I want it to look like this, and copy this and do like this, and do like here's our fuselage right now. They're too low they have a low trigger point, so there you go. Yeah, you can encounter this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's just move forward and rotate this again. Something like this, something like that. There we go. And then you're gonna first adjust this thing to be like this, so somehow it could smoothen out a little bit. There you go. There. And you're gonna use some braces to cover those gaps, and by loading the mod, the brace cube mod. Oh jeez, I can't find it. There you go. And just find a better point to rotate your brace cube right here. Make it long. Make it flat. And copy this one for reference. And lower that thing and make sure that it will fit for that thing. And yeah, this one is a very long process, and you're gonna do this for about a couple of hours, which is a very time consuming process, and it looks like it's not a very effective method of doing it. But unless if this one works for you. As you can see here, it looks kind of beautiful. Now let's copy this thing and what would look like. Okay, for example, let's go for 40 degrees. There you go. There's a little bit of an adjustment right here, but yeah, this is what we do before. But thanks for the new things right here, like the forward block. Our process has been much more easier now. So let's go back to the beam again. Okay, so now this is our beam without the things, and you're just gonna make this thing right here, and then move it right here, and do the same thing again. And you can just decide what will be the look of your thing. You're still gonna shape this thing look like from the fish bed. So right here, we're just gonna make it look like something like a better jet engine, something like that. And there you go. And copy this thing again. And there you go. And then you're just gonna copy it up. This thing is also a little bit of a long process, but it's less time consuming than the other one that I show you. So right here, there you go. We have some new. Yeah, we have already had the one side right here for just any kind of seconds. There we go. And you're just gonna adjust this thing again. Jesus, somebody's playing some copyrighted song outside. So right here. There you go. Alright, there you go. Your process has been shortened, and now you're just gonna copy this again, and right here, and voila. Just do a little bit of fixing right here, and you're done. There you go. You already have your fuselage. Also, by the way, what if I want a landing gear for my plane? So it's a little bit of a long process, guys, so bear with me. So this will this will make my video about 1 hour, but you know, not all classes are lasted for just a couple of minutes, and that's impossible. Then there you go. For example, this is where we're gonna put our wheels. Damn it. For example, this is where we're gonna put our wheels when we retract it. There's a little bit of fixing again, because as you can see here, guys, making this is not sometimes of a joke. You need a lot of patience of making them, because you know you cannot just make it just for easy tasks. You need to encounter this kind of stuff just to make it perfectly. And this is for the frontal wheel. Just arrange this just a bit, and then you're gonna put a large hinge right here. And it should be a bit much more feasible for the hole, because why not? How you gonna put your wheels in the plane without it? Okay, and then put some wheels. Of course, you need wheels, and resize that for a little bit of amount that could actually fit to the plane. Or if you want to easy taxi more, or if you want to taxi to your plane, well, you need this. This one is a little bit of a long process, but I guess if you getting master of doing this thing again, you could actually make it even way more better than this. Okay, just make it thin and make this thing long if you want. This is the one if you want to have a plane that has a working taxi function, you know. Oh my god, that's kind of a bit off because it's so near from that. There you go, guys. Just a little bit of fixing. You could actually fit this thing right here. You can see here, perfect fit. There we go. If it looks ugly, you could just arrange it just a little bit more to make it look much more sense. So there we go. Beautiful, looks clean, but you need a landing berry. But that will be another video. And for here, well, Well, it depends of as much as you want, but since you want it to, so how about I just gonna put it right here. First, again, you need a hinge. So right here, and you're just gonna copy this wheel right here, and this one should be a little bit bigger, or if you wanna similar as small as the front one, where it's up to you. As long as this one fits to the right, I just decided just to make this to flip. So there we go. There you go. You have the landing gears, the fuselage, and the backbone. You could add some braces inside, so you could hold this thing. It could hold this plane right here. There we go. Oops. Ah yeah, that's the other thing. You need to make this thing much more sturdy, so it won't do like that. Okay, just gonna add some braces right here, so it'll be a bit. There we go, just like that. So now we could just move around with this thing. That's it, and then there we go. You have your fuselage and its landing gear in a simple way, I guess. So okay, let's go for the other one. Alright guys, I did a little bit of changes from this fuselage, which I cleaned it off a bit, and I added some logic gates right here, because since this landing gear go on auto return, so right here from this logic gate I put them like input A, input B, input emulate into same key, and then I put it on toggle mode, so you don't have to press it long or need another key to retract all of those landing gears. Alright, let's go make some wings. So right now we're gonna start copying these things that I already put here, and flip it right on the left, and as you can see here from the propeller right here, it should be going forward, just like in the tip number 1. It should be going forward. So right now let's find some other points so that we could put our wings. So right here I'm gonna choose right here because I want it here. So right now I'm gonna make some wings for this one, and you need it to make it a little bit long, because obviously wings are long, of course, and make it wide and thin. So right now we have a thin wing right here, and you could make it thin as much as you want or thick as much as you want, but for me you're gonna just like this, because this makes me happy when you're doing it. So right now what we're gonna do is to rotate this to 45%, and now you're gonna put some hinges right here and make it flat. There we go, flat wings. I mean hinges. Now it might fit from this plane. So right here, I'm gonna move it right here from the right next to the hinge right here, and did some a little bit of adjustments. Copy that and then flip. There you go. And then now it's up to you what kind of shape do you want for your plane. So me, I'm just gonna go on this kind of design. And also you need the controls for this one. So this one is mostly used for roll, of course, obviously. And I'm gonna choose F and H, which mostly some other creators would like to use. And rotation speed is 4 or 5. It's up to you, whatever you want. So right now, once you're pressing like there we go. You flip. And now for flaps, you're just gonna copy the one thing that you use for the roll. Now you're gonna adjust it a bit so you can make it a bit fit for the plane itself. So right here, I'm just gonna put it right here. If it was too short, just increase this line. There you go. This is not used for rolling. This is used for trapping wind. So right here, we could use this to like this. 45. Make it a little bit slow, and there we go. And this is the flaps. And now for the main wing, is up to you. You could use this thing and shape it as much as you want. But remember, you don't need that much of propeller wings as much as you want. It's up to you. Okay, Blitz, how do we gonna cover this thing? There's so many gaps with this thing. It's not a wing with gaps. So here you need a wing panel with this thing. I mean, wooden panel. And just place it right here, make it thin, and here. Simple. It's been close because, like I said, you don't need that much propeller wings for your, propeller blocks for your wings, because it will make your roll even much slower. We have the brace grip right here to cover them up, and also gives it a lot more durability for our wings. So all you need to do just to make it long, and make it like this, and make sure that no other important stuff could ever get stuck from this thing, because if that happened, well, you have to remove a lot of stuff. And for many Besiege builders, they don't rely too much on brace cubes, because for some important reasons that these things could actually ruin your creation if you try to make them too big. I forgot to tell you guys that you're also gonna make them even much more stronger by attaching a lot of braces from the backbone of your plane. You need like just 3 or several of braces just to make your plane much tougher. It's up to you if you want to. So right here, I'm just gonna choose three attach points. And it should be placed on the backbone of your plane, and go for 0.50 and do it like this. There we go. And then move all of them right here and attach them with braces, and then yet again, same thing with what we did before. You're gonna delete all of these things and voila. Oh, there's one thing. It looks ugly when I left them like this. No problem, because this is what you're gonna do. You have to make them flat as possible. Okay, so now they're completely hidden. Now we can just remove all of this thing that we don't need, and it's time to do some a little bit of shape, mass shaping with this thing, like making them for more adhedral or any shade that you want. There we go. And then copy it and make sure that you flip this. This thing. So right now somehow you could able to roll now. There you go. You have a roll function with your wings. Also you're also gonna do this the same thing from the ailerons. I mean for the elevator, the rudder, for the vertical wings and the rear wing, from those kind of stuff. And just the same thing as this. So I just have to speed up this a bit because we're just doing the same process too. So it won't be that fast. So let's go. Okay guys, I did a little bit of modification off camera. So as you can see here, our jet right here looks clean now. It has a little bit of additional stuff right here. The tiny fins, and the vertical wings looks different now, and a thruster. And I also moved modified the wings too. So right now, let's move on to tip number 6, which is the hidden propeller blocks for extra mobility and stability. So right here we have this weird stuff right here, which are already made of propeller blocks. So you understand why we have this thing. As I turn on the simulation, so right here I turned on this thing, and as you can see here that it looks fine, and we gonna speed it up, and something feels weird. It has a very slow mobility, as you can see here when it got so fast. The pitch is slow, and now this is where this stuff comes to play. So how to understand this thing? Well, if you make it like this, it means more additional power for pitch, and also for stability. This one is for stability on the front, and this one is for the yaw, which is the one thing that it's hard to understand, and you will see why. So now I'm gonna put this back from the plane, and you'll see the magic once we added that thing. So now start the simulation again and fly this thing. Retract all of the landing gear. And as you can see here, the pitch was much faster now. As you can see here, you could do this a much more tighter pitch and a much more better roll, sort of. And the yaw was kind of like the hard to understand, but on low speed is kind of a bit weird because this one is much more better pitch here on low speed. On high speed, so this is where the problem comes to play. As you will see later when we reach a much more higher speed, the pitch was gonna be like very hard to understand here, and it took me a lot, like 2 hours to solve this thing, and I haven't solved it until now. But you could fix this thing if you have a chance. So I think I'm just gonna save this part and show you some other stuff that I did. Alright guys, this is the newest plane I built before, and it should be like from the tutorial, but unfortunately that was 2 hours long and it's hard to edit. So right now, once I fly this thing, and this one has a much more better yaw, because for what I did here is this. As you can see here from the wings, it has this weird stuff sticking out under the wings. This one is the propeller block, and from the other side here, there's a minimum amount of vertical propeller blocks, because it already had the propeller blocks in the front, which is the propeller, so you don't need that much. Here, in the other hand, this thing is a bit fine, although it struggles to take off, because this is the other problems of making planes in Besiege, which is this. How I'm gonna call this thing? Something like sometimes the plane doesn't take off by its own power. Like, you'll see why. And also, I shouldn't have done this kind of design, because as you can see here, when I'm doing a taxi, it's just gonna break up because it looks so awful. But as you can see here, I'm gonna do my maximum speed right here. And as you can see here, we're kind of gaining a little bit of speed, but I don't know. We'll do it, yeah. It struggles to take off much faster. But for people who's gonna make a plane, I do not recommend to copy this thing, because this thing is awful as hell. But you could adapt its building styles of how I make it much more
much more agile, much more better stability. I don't know if it has a better stability or not, but you could adapt its building style or anything else. So anyway, let's go for tip number 7. Okay, here we go, guys. We're almost done for this. Kind of like this tutorial. So from tip number 7, it's all about the secondary and the ordnance. So first, we're gonna start with the secondary. So the secondaries is the crossbow machine gun right here. So what it does? Well, of course, it shoots arrows. So what it's supposed to be. So this is how I give my crossbow machine gun's power. So right here, I'm gonna make its range and forward to 100. It could do 500 if you want, but that will be a bit uncontrollable, and times 18 because that one has a bit of punch, and letter J. It could be anything, guys. It could be any key as much as you want. So now, shall we just put this arrow right here? No, because we're doing something with this one. Go to scaling and select this one to just 1%, 0.01, and instead make this thing big, because this is the one that carries things. Or if this thing did select to the block, you could just place it that way right here. So oh my god, okay, so right here, I know it's hard to see right here, but once I zoom in, there we go. What if we turn off the shadow? Yes, it will be even much more harder to see. So right here, this is the crossbow machine gun right here, and it can shoot much more vertically as much as you want. And now you could even add more arrows for even much more power. Actually, this one could actually deal more damage if you add more. And as you can see here, I did this like 6, which means more power. So now let's fly this thing again. Although it will decrease our power, but we have a powerful machine gun right here. Oh my god, that's a lag. There we go. The power was weird with this one. But in normal speed, you could actually keep it. It's a very fun weapon to keep, but once you're in a low time scale, this is what happens. As you can see here, this thing just loves to break, which is the biggest bad luck with this thing. So please don't be so mandatory with this thing, because that will be the problem. Yay! We're gonna do for ordnance. So what do? First, grab a grabber and grab a bomb. That's it. And just select some other stuff that you, and just make this thing a little bit small so it could fit to your plane. There you go. You have a bomb to be carried on. So, but we don't want just this. We want rockets. We want some rockets that could fire some, you know, with a explosive on its tip. Don't worry. I'm gonna teach you that how to make that thing. First, you need a rocket. Move it right here and move it. Go forward and find the grabber. Make this grabber a bit long. Should be much more longer, I guess. But I suggested this one to be much more longer because there will be some more problems to come when you didn't do this. So right here, you need to make it a bit thin and small. See here, this rocket attached to the rocket. So now we're gonna find the bomb. which is the warhead. And there you go. We have the warhead right here and the rocket. And one last thing, and you have to cancel the key right here and select some key that you could launch it. And it should be like it should be 100 as much as you want. And then
Anyway, guys, it could be in any order if you want, but I choose that 10 because it's much more better to use.
and for more power, we could use 50 or 100. You know, if you want for double kill. If you, I mean, extra damage from your enemy. So right here, there you go, explosion. Okay, back to the main topic. You need another grabber right here and attach it right here, and it should be upside down. And make this thing thin, and make sure that it won't get detached from the warhead, because this is the number one problem of Besiege builders on rockets, which is sometimes it just glitch out to never attach the main grabber, which is the most annoying thing to do. So what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna put this to our power plane. It should be like this. This one is, there we go. It looks fine though. And then we're gonna use some any blocks right here as a template, or there's some one thing that we could carry on to have a much more precise copy. So right here, move it to 0.50. I think that's pretty much it. 2 missiles is good enough. Copy this thing and make sure that there's nothing is gonna fall from your rocket. Try again. There we go. Sturdy. So now let's go for the key. I'm just gonna choose double launch right here, so we can have more damage. And now let's fly the plane. 3, 2, 1. See, it's so fun to use. Okay, guys.
That's how you're gonna make ordnance. But also, this is not the only one thing I'm gonna teach you how to make them.
Also, you could use cannons as ordnance.
Okay, so why? Okay, I'm just gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna use this as ordnance. As you can see here, we're gonna press number 2, and you could choose what kind of power do you want to put in this one. I'm just gonna choose times 60. And why we're making this as an ordnance for our plane? Well, as you can see, for example, you don't have, your plane doesn't allow to carry like such a very powerful weapon. So therefore, you're just gonna settle with this thing, which it could do its job done. It could literally obliterate everything in its path, which is nice. So right now, when I press number 2, you can see it just disappeared because we're just... Okay, we're gonna try it again, but this time we're flying. Okay, let's try again, but this time we're flying again, as I said already. So now let's fire. See? Although it's a bit inaccurate, but it could do the job done. So that's it, everybody. And that's the other ordnance. I could teach you more, but that will be another video. So anyway, let's go for tip number 8.
think this is the most important thing we need to learn in this video, because it's pretty much almost real life. Because sometimes we have dreams in real life, like we want to be this guy, we want to learn this stuff, we want to master this thing. So we keep practicing, we keep learning, we keep doing it. We also listen to some people's criticism to make better. Well, for some, and that's also I do in Besiege. That's why I still keep playing for about 6 years. And maybe one day I'll try to get 10 years if I can. So that's it, everybody, guys, and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so never miss a new video. And sorry about, guys, for the hiatus, because I was doing the secret project and art commission. So that's it, everybody, guys. See ya.